I'm Branson, and you're watching Harlem Stoop Talk.
Well, look who I ran into. What's up, Branson? What's up? Hello. So I'm Darlene Lewis. I'm here with the famous Branson here on Harlem Stoop Talk. And we're going to get into his brain a little later on in the show and let the viewing audience know exactly what he's been up to. So until later, I'll talk to you. What's up, Branson? What's up? Well. Harlem Stoop Talks has found another living legend. Some of y'all know of him. Some of y'all know of the neighborhood of Harlem. But nobody knows.
Hey, what's up, baby? How you?
The man
Okay, you need to
behind
walk
the
back this way.
mystery.
I might have to tell this lady some stuff, man. Huh? We need you, Al. Yo, we did something with the kid in the studio the other night too. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Huh? Nah, the other one, Black from the East Side. Come back this way, man.
How you doing, sir?
I'm very well blessed, my dear. How are you?
Well, on this beautiful day, Harlem Stoop Talks would like to know, how do you feel about the new Harlem that is basically a gentrified Harlem? Do you see it for the good or for the bad?
No, I don't really completely know. I mean, it's a gentrified Harlem. I'd imagine it's for the good for the people that are moving into the demographic that did never had a desire to be here, or maybe they had a innate desire to be here, but they would never venture through here at a particular time. And now that they seem to be extremely comfortable about occupying the space, I'd imagine that some of the politicians created a situation where it made them comfortable to be in this environment that they had no desire or didn't want to be here at all. And I think a lot of that had to do with the World Trade Center situation and economics, people being able to move into this demographic and pay a lot less rent than they would pay in Lower Manhattan. So now they've moved up here, which has created a situation where the rents are surging and the people that have been here are having a difficult time staying here because all the landlords are trying to create situations to increase their rents and their incomes, and it's always limited concern for the people.
So, how long have you been in Harlem?
I've been in this demographic for my entire life.
Really? Because a lot of people speak about you and they want to know the man behind the name Branson. You've met some of the most famous entertainers, and how has the culture of music influenced your life? Like, who are some of your friends that you know?
Oh, well, I mean, I've met a lot of people. I've had a lot of good, strong, positive relationships. Sometimes you find that people that are talented a lot of times haven't been business people. So some of the influences were predicated on providing general information and just creating thoughts for people to maybe go back and try to sort of figure out some things and try to balance out their lives in terms of the business that they were in. So, I've been labeled as a consultant. Not labeled as a consultant, I have been a consultant to various artists over time, and just try to help them with their careers. A lot of times, people get opportunities and don't really understand the detail attached to their opportunity, so they have to be clear about the business that they're doing. And in some cases, I've been able to provide clarity. In some cases, just being able to provide them with the ability to think about it so that they can make the decisions that they need to make. And a lot of friendships as well.
So, how did you get involved with dealing with these recording artists or these entertainers?
Well, I mean, I don't really completely know what brought that to the forefront. I mean, I had relationships with various artists. You know, there was times we used to have gatherings, parties, and social events, and wind up being close and getting close to people. And at one point, I was providing a service that was the major thing. I was providing a service that they were not able to get. I tried to bring a quality product to us. You know, that was my main focus, because there were products that we would consider to, be quality products, but we weren't getting them. So it was my desire to, anything that I've done, to create a quality situation and service my people.
And speaking of servicing your people, I understand that you're caring about the health of individuals and you're involved with entrepreneurial businesses that provide quality food and beverages. You want to elaborate on that?
Well, currently I do have a juice bar. It's called Branson Got Juice. We're on St. Nicholas Avenue between 147th and 148th Street, 741 St. Nicholas Avenue. And basically, it's trying to provide healthy alternatives for us. I mean, we got grocery stores on every corner. On the block that I'm on, there's 3 grocery stores on one block, and they're full of brands that are not healthy. And they're servicing the community with these brands. And it's a crazy thing, because we grow up with this. I mean, we grow up eating poison and not really be clear about it until later on, when we wind up with some form of illness or disease. I mean, you got 3 stores on one block with a bunch of brands that have trans fats, and they're just not products that are healthy for us. So I make an attempt to try to provide, again, another service to our community and provide healthy alternatives and try to raise the consciousness. That's one of the things that's needed, and it has been a work that has been presented to me in my early years, like needing to raise the consciousness of our people. I mean, you're a kid, it's 2016. You're born 14 years ago. You grow up in this, and you look at everything around you, and it's exciting, and you want it, and you think it's good for you, but then there's nobody telling you. I mean, it's a part of parenting as well, but a lot of the parents are not aware of it, because we've been introduced to these things and we think they're good, and we don't realize that they're not good until we're half dead. So, I mean, it's a real strong reality, and it's a real work that needs to be done. And more so, again, like I repeat, it's something that needs to be done to totally raise the consciousness of our people.
And I noticed that in having your business, you hire the youth, or you hire people from the community. Unlike most of the businesses I notice in Harlem, a lot of the owners don't live in the neighborhood, and a lot of the workers don't live in the neighborhood.
Well, I try to make it a point to try to hire young black youth from this demographic or wherever they come from, but just to give us opportunities, because our opportunities are limited. And it's difficult because, the whole process in terms of finding employees, it's always a work. It's always a work. So, I try to give people opportunities. In my youth, I was given opportunity. The elders from the community that had financial stability and they had businesses, I mean, they gave me opportunities. If you look around in these stores now in the communities, like, they don't give the kids an opportunity to carry a package for a customer. They don't allow them to sweep the floors, mop the floors, clean the windows. They don't have any work for them. The work that they bring in is basically geared toward their families and their relatives. But they hire none of the people from the demographic that are familiar with the neighborhood or people that they should possibly give opportunities, because the fact of the matter is these are the people that are patronizing them on a daily basis. So it's an issue. It's a really issue, and there are very few entrepreneurs from the demographic that actually own businesses in their own area.
So, where do you see Harlem's going in the future as far as entrepreneurship?
I don't know. I mean, again, like I said, most of the businesses are owned by people that come from outside. I don't know, man. A part of my mind says that people just need to wake up and deal with their economic issues and stop spending their money with these people that don't support them. These people have limited respect for the people in the community, and I think that if people would take their mouths out of the kitchen of their enemies, then we would have a stronger position in life and in the world, and economics as well. I mean, the economic situation is predicated on us spending money with people that don't support us. So we need to make some adjustments to let these people understand that we do have a voice and we do have a value.
And do you think that the local politicians play a great part into letting the community know about what opportunities or what financial opportunities are there, like loans or set-asides or properties? Because a lot of people that I've run across have said that they weren't aware of certain properties being available for rent, or they didn't know about certain loans that they were eligible for, or first-time homeowners. They didn't know anything about going about, purchasing a home, or what's even required, in regards to their credit score.
Well, a lot of those things are elements of business, and then you got a lot of people that don't really completely fall into the category as business people. You got people running and managing businesses that have just been residents of the business, and they don't have the business knowledge to deal with certain elements when it comes to maintaining and operating a property. So, those things create a problem, because a lot of times things are dropped in people's laps and they have to deal with it, and they don't really have the business savvy to deal with it in a way that's conducive to the survival. And as far as the information, I mean, we're always last to get the information.
But even with the age of the internet and social media, why would that be an issue in 2016, 2017?
Because people deal with the things that are distracting. They look at Love and Hip Hop, and they watch all of these shows that predicate people that are doing things that are not real. Here it is. You're in a world right now where people are gravitating to plastic surgeries and people being made up. It's almost like people are like a cartoon character, but it's not real. So the whole thing is like people don't want to deal with their true selves. I remember that I was taught, or at least had information in terms of dealing with women, a black woman. We view a beautiful black woman with no makeup, hair out, natural, and we could define and identify with a beauty. And the same thing for the man. So now everybody just wants to be made up like it's Halloween all year round. It's strange. I mean, I don't understand it. I look at the people with the colorful hair. You got green hair, yellow hair, red hair, orange hair, and I'm like, wow. I don't understand where it really comes from. I mean, I can understand an occasional situation to accent an outfit or something like that, but people are just wanting to change who they are, and it doesn't seem like they even grow into being themselves. You know what I'm saying? They just go automatically and they're trying to be somebody else. So I don't really completely understand certain parts of that. I look for explanations on a daily basis myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at people that got green hair, yellow hair, and I'm like, sometimes it looks nice, but I mean, is that you're going to do that for the next 365 days, or I don't know.
And what about, how do you feel about the gang population that has increased in Harlem, or are you aware of that?
I think that it's again, you're dealing with a situation where you got the youth that need to feel associated, feel like they belong to something. I mean, the gang situation could turn into something positive if there were elements interjected into a situation that they would have support. I mean, there's always been gangs. I mean, when I was a kid in high school, I mean, we flew colors. There was Black Spade, Savage Nomad. There's always been gangs. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, there's also been situations where the gangs were able to come together and create a strength between each other as opposed to hurting each other. That's one of the things that's an issue with the gang situation, because these young adults are going against one another and hurting each other on a daily basis when they need to be able to stick together and create an economic situation that's viable and strong so that they can have a voice in the community and in the world.
So do you see the youth as having no choices, or they're just picking bad choices?
I think that goes back to what you asked earlier. I think that they have to understand that they do have opportunity. But if you're born into a situation and you look around you and you see certain things are going on, you feel like those are your choices. You don't feel like there's a way to navigate through that and find something or look for something different. There has to be a voice. We don't have a whole lot of forums that provide information so that we can strengthen ourselves and identify with our options.
Even with the onset of the internet, do you feel that the youth are just gravitating more for sensation and quick fun, having fun, and not really using the internet?
The internet is a distraction.
Internet
the fact of the matter that you have all this information and it's not utilized. I mean, we didn't have an internet. If we went to school, if we had to do a book report, we had to go to the library. And if that library didn't have enough information, we had to go to another library to try to get and complete the task of completing that book report and put that information in that was necessary. Now here it is, the youth have the information at the push of a button, and it should make them better because of all the information and all the access to knowledge that they have. But I don't think a lot of that is being absorbed properly. I think it's just utilized as a distraction. I think that the things that people are paying attention to, sometimes people don't realize the importance of what they need to look at or identify. They're looking at a whole bunch of other things that really don't have no value for their life in terms of their growth and development.
Now, can you put some of that on the fault of the parenting? Because it seems like when you were in Harlem back in the day, you had parents, either both parents in the home, or if you did have a single parent, and they had neighbors that looked out for the kids. Like, what has changed, in your opinion, about the way parents are raising their children?
I think you got a lot of parents that didn't have the means to be a parent and didn't have the understanding that went along with being a parent, and there was a lot of resistance to them learning the protocol for being a parent and for being an adult. So some of the things have just sort of slid away. And again, just like you said, if I was a kid and I was out here doing something I didn't have no business doing, my man's mother seen me doing that, she would whip my ass. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to be mindful and respectful, and more than anything, be respectful, because you would not do things in front of adults that you knew that you would be reprimanded for or you would have a problem. So it was a level of respect that was it was viable and it was really there. It was a real line there, and you knew if you crossed that line or that barrier that you were going to have a problem from home.
And so, do you have children?
Yes, I do.
And do you mind to tell us how old
How old?
are these kids?
My oldest son is 30 and my youngest daughter is 14.
So that's a really big gap between the both of them. And how has raising them been for you in Harlem? Like, has Harlem influenced the way you raised them, or has it been easy?
Well, one of the things that's most important is being able to provide your children with information and give them insight so that they can understand. Just like I was just talking about the healthy alternatives. Like, again, as an example, a 14-year-old growing up, looking around, they want to go to the store. They want to get some potato chips. They want to get Yankee Doodle. They want to get things that are not good for them. So if they're not being taught or being made to understand that these things are not healthy options for them, that they're going to gravitate to them because they think they're good and all their friends are doing it, and this is what they think they want. So being able to put them on a schedule to get them to understand the difference and understand that their bodies are built of cellular structure, and those cells need to be fed certain things in order for them to grow and develop properly, that again turns into a situation where you have to educate.
And speaking of educating, what do you see yourself in the future? I understand you've been involved with so many different businesses, but what's one of your greatest accomplishments that you've been able to succeed in as of lately?
Well, one of my major concerns right now is more so the health situation, because as much as you do in that field, like there's still options. I mean, I've learned recently, like taking vitamins. I was taking vitamins that were synthetic, and I didn't really understand completely the difference. In a synthetic vitamin, it's a man-made vitamin, and I learned that another company that I had conversations with and relationships with, they explained to me that their products were coming from organic sources. So you see that the products that are built from organic stuff, and it's being presented to you to feed your body a whole different way, as opposed to you keep taking pills and eating things that you don't really know what it is. So I mean, it's a lot of research behind it, and some of it is trial and error because you don't really completely know or completely understand. Like, you have to get a clear understanding and try to grasp like what is really going on. In my mind, I think if I would not have had a halfway decent and healthy diet, I'd probably be dead by now. I mean, I've watched friends have diabetes, cancer, a lot of different situations, and I just think that living a lifestyle a certain way for a long period of time, it serves as a situation to eliminate your life. I mean, historically, we hear people talk about in the Bible that people live to 200-300 years old. I believe that's true because they were not ingesting all these chemical situations. I mean, they were feeding off the land. It was natural, organic, and I believe that there's a possibility that they could have lived to 200-300 years old. And if in this world that we live in, if that was the case, then I'd imagine that we'd be overpopulated. So I believe that this whole thing is structured in a way to eliminate the people. It's like a system of rotation, because if people live to be that long, that old, then the world would be overpopulated. So, I mean, this whole structure is awkward because, again, we just had an election. My whole thing is that the structure was not built with us in mind. We did not have opportunities to sit at the table and make any decision. This existing structure again, like I repeat, like for the kids, they grow up here, it's already here, it's already in place. And whether it's good for us or not, I mean, it's real clear that it's really not.
I understand that you also got involved with wines and spirits. What made you get involved with that?
Well, I consider myself to be a connoisseur for a long period of time. I mean, it's been brought to my attention the people that were in the business and they thought I had a good palate. They thought that I recognized quality. So, you know, it's the same thing. It was me creating a situation where I was trying to provide a quality situation for us. You know, whether it's recognized completely or not, whether I get the support that I'm looking for, it's a whole nother thing, but that was really the purpose. That's been the purpose of all the businesses that I've gotten involved in, and that's probably why a lot of them haven't catapulted or went to the level that I've wanted them to, because I've directed it more so toward us and we don't pay attention.
So, starting with 2017, you think you'll be becoming more diversified and expanding your products to all different nationalities, or are you?
Well, products are available now to all nationalities. It's not limited.
Okay.
I mean, it's available.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, I'm just really commenting on the level of support.
Right. Well, that may be a socio-economic problem that may not even have anything to do with your business, but the fact that it's a known fact that sometimes people from your community really don't always support your community unless somebody endorses that product, and then all of a sudden it becomes like the product to have, you know?
Well, you know, that turns into the same situation we were talking about, man. We need to be conscious. We need to be aware. I mean, and we need to understand the difference in supporting us. We need those. That's another portion of the education.
Well, we hope to hear more great things from you in the future. And Branson, thank you once again for being a part of Harlem Stoop Talk.
Very much welcome.
That's the one with that great voice, singing blocks away. And what's your name again? You a Hill, right?
I'm one of the Hill.
Yeah, he may be related to me. His brother is married to my cousin Lisa.
Okay.
Is that where I say what?
Yes. So can we hear a little bit of you? I got you on camera.
Sitting by the open fireplace in my favorite dungarees. Played a few bars of a melody and it sounded sweet to me. Thought I'd get up and take a look around, but my feet got in the way. Stumbled to the floor, she was right at the door. I could see her face, but how could it be? She ran away from me, my best friend's gone. I'm so all alone, I kinda miss you, Brandy. Missing you every day. Are you coming home to stay? 'Cause I love you, Brandy. Sipping on a cherry soda pop, building houses made of sand.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there.
Stop right there.
We need another segment of Stoop Stories. I'm here with another Harlem legend. Hey, hi, how are you?
Good afternoon, how you doing?
Tell everybody who you are.
I'm Albert from Harlem. Sugar Hill, for those who don't know, Harlem has different segments, so I'm from Sugar Hill.
So, you know, we just did an interview with the infamous Branson. And tell me how you know Branson.
Man, he's more like a mentor. Grew up working in the store. I think he was like one of the first people that I met that was like black ownership, you know, entrepreneurship. So, you know, knowing him inspired me to want to do my own thing and not like work for someone else, but, you know, generate your own income. So, with his guidance and his mentorship, I started my own clothing line.
And what's the name of your clothing line?
Members Republic. And
Okay.
and basic Harlem, the things that cherish me is Harlem, music and fashion.
So what type of clothing is it?
It's more about it's more hip hop and more urban wear, more modern day pop, got some hip hop signature hats and shirts and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff just stem from like hanging around and being mentored by Branson, and his roots in Harlem and in the hip hop community.
And how can one get your clothing line?
Well, they can go to membersrepublic.com, one word, or they can also check out Bakery on 132nd in Amsterdam. I have some pieces in there as well.
Oh, really? Okay, so where do you see yourself in the future with this clothing line?
Well, I see myself, just broadening my horizons as far as understanding the business aspect of fashion and understanding, entrepreneurship, and hopefully I can probably have my own boutique one day.
Well, if you keep doing what you got to do, you will definitely get there. Thank you once again
No
for
problem.
Harlem Stoop Talk.
Thank you.